Hello my dear friends, how are you? In this video we are going to learn round of tens and hundred and then add and subtract. Now in this video we are going to learn a very interesting and easiest topic, that is estimating sums and differences. So let's follow what is sums and what is differences. Do you know, children, the answer what we get when we add two numbers in addition, the answer we get, which is known as sums, and when we subtract two numbers, okay, when we do the subtraction sum, the answer what we get, which is known as difference. So now we are going to learn how to estimate these two sums, addition and subtraction. So let's follow. To estimate a number means to round off each number to its nearest tens and hundreds. We have to round off the nearest hundreds or tens. Then we have to add or subtract, which is depends on your sum. How to do the nearest hundreds or tens? Nearest to tens. Check the unit digit of the given number that is to be estimated. We have to see or check the given number which is nearest to 100 or tens. Now look over here, estimating sums and differences. Example 1. Okay, I'm going to do the addition sum. That's why I have written sum. That is mean additions. Okay. Now I have drawn here number line that you have learned in the previous classes. So here our estimate, the number is 58. This number we have to round it to tens. Okay, so I have written here 50 and in the 60. So this number is nearest to 60 because it is 58. 55 it is in between and it is 58 which is nearest to tens, which is nearest to 60. In the same way, the another number, that is 73, our question. So the 73 is nearest to 70. If there is a 5, 75 or 65 or 55 or 35, then it is in between. So we always assume 75, that is our 5 number, nearest to tens. Okay, nearest to tens, that is 80. For example, 75 it is here, means we have to assume 75 is nearest to 80. In the same way, if there is a 55, means it is nearest to 60. So we have to add now. 53 nearest to 60 and 73 is nearest to 70. So these two numbers we have to add. 0 plus 0, 0, and 7 plus 6 plus 7, 13. Okay, in the same way, 8 plus 3 it is a 11, and then 6 plus 7 it is a 13. So here 131 and here 130. So in this way we have to do. So this is our sum. The answer we got, which is known as sums, okay, which is nearest to tens. In the same way we have to do the nearest to 100 also, but our topic is only sums and differences. I have explained how to do the sum, that is addition. Now I'm going to show you how to do the differences. There is no much difference between them because in the additions we have to do add, in the subtraction we have to do the subtract. That's all. Now observe here carefully. This is the number 2, that is difference. That's mean I am going to show you the Here
Subtraction.
our number is 33, which is near to tens, okay, which is near to 30, and 19, which is near to 20. I have shown this one by the help of number line. You can understand more easily. So 33 is rounded to tens, that is 30, and 19 is rounded to tens, that is 20. So now we have to find out the difference between these two numbers. So let's follow. 0 minus 0, it is 0, and 3 minus 2, it is 1. So what is the difference? 10. You know the sum, how to subtract. So 13 minus 9, we have to count back from 13 onwards. How many steps do we go backward? After 13, 12, 11, 10, and then 9, that is 4. We have to write here 4, and 2 minus 1, it is 1. So now we got 14 here, okay, and we got 10 here. So in this way you have to do the estimates of differences.
Today we're going to be rounding to the nearest 10. This is a review, but we're going to go over it. Remember our strong numbers. Those are the numbers that push the 10 up to the next number that we count. They are 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They have lots of power. The weak numbers, which means that the 10 doesn't change, are 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's practice. First, I know I'm rounding to the nearest 10, so I'm going to look at the tens place, and I'm going to go one column over to the ones. I'm going to circle my ones, and I'm going to decide, is that number weak or strong? I know that the 6 is strong, which means that it has lots of power. It's going to push up my 7 to an 8. Because the next number I count up is 7, 8. So my number is 8. And since I used all the power out of the 6, the ones is always going to turn into a 0. 76 rounds to 80. The next one, 52. I know I'm rounding to the nearest 10, so I'm going to look one column over to the right, which is my 2. My 2. I'm going to circle it. I'm going to decide, is that weak or strong? I know that 2 is weak. It has no power. So the 5 is going to stay the same because 2 is weak, meaning that it has no power. I can't push it up. And the 2 is going to become a 0. 52 rounds to 50. My last one, I know I'm rounding to the nearest 10, so I put my line underneath my 10. Go one column over. I have a 4. 4 is weak and has no power, so the 8 stays an 8, and the 4 turns into a 0. That should be a review. We are rounding to the nearest 10. It gets a little trickier, but not hard, when you have hundreds and you are rounding to the nearest 10. Okay, I'm still going to look at my tens place. I don't care about the 100 right now. I'm going to move to the right. I'm looking at the ones. Is that number weak or strong? 3 is weak, has no power to push the 7. So I'm going to keep my 7 in the tens place. My 3 is going to become a 0. And my 4 is going to stay exactly the same. I'm not looking at the hundreds today. I'm just looking at the tens. So 473 rounds to 470. Let's look at number 2. Again, I'm rounding to the nearest 10, so I'm looking in the tens place. and then I go one column to the right, which ends up being my ones. 9 is a strong number. It pushes the 4 up to a 5. This 9 becomes a 0, and then I'm going to write in my 100. This arrow should really be going over there. So 549 rounds to 550. Again, I'm not looking at the hundreds, so the hundreds are just going to stay the same. Next one, looking at nearest 10, go one column to the right, I have a 5. 5 is nice and strong. Pushes this 6 up to a 7. The 5 used all its power, so now it is a 0, and the 6 is in the hundreds, so it stays the same. You're rounding to the nearest 10, and if you look here, when I count by tens, I say these numbers. 70, 50, 70. They're tens. I'm rounding to the nearest 10. My hundreds are staying the same. I'm not looking at them.
I hope you would like the video very well. Being a good child, you can study for your exam.